I saw Halloween Kills, and it was good until it wasn't. Just a quick overview of what I thought about the movie. It's a fine movie, and if you really liked Halloween 2018, I still say you should give this movie a shot. Or if you're curious about any Halloween movie, you want to just see a horror movie in the month of October, and you want to see some pretty good kills on the screen, but I wouldn't recommend this to casual moviegoers, just somebody who wants to see some kills on the big screen, especially in the theaters, but you can watch it on the streaming service online if you want to. From here on, I'm gonna go into spoilers, so if you haven't seen the movie or you just don't care to see the movie, I'm gonna be spoiling it from here on. I'm not really the biggest fan of slasher movies. I prefer many other horror genres. They're usually all the same, but they're okay to me. They kind of get boring, but hey, sometimes they could spice it up. I don't know. My thoughts on Halloween 2018, the last one, is that I thought it was okay. Not my favorite movie, but it was still enjoyable for what it was. And it made me curious enough to see what the next movie was about and how they would continue this franchise. I still can't get over how they thought that burning him would actually kill him. I mean, did they not watch Halloween 2? Alright, now let's go ahead and talk about Halloween Kills that we've actually been waiting an extra year for. Was it worth the wait? Not really. The movie started off great. The intro scene of them going back to the original Halloween night where the original murders took place was awesome. The vintage feel from the shots, and especially the shot from Michael Myers getting arrested from the porch, is just glorious. The title sequence is just awesome. I love it from the original Halloween, just the pumpkins melting and going on fire. It's awesome. And hell, the scenes right after that where Michael Myers from the last movie gets out of the burning house and just absolutely destroys those first responders. I mean, you could hang some of those frames on a wall. It was just awesome. Cinematography and just the direction there was great. But now, after that scene, the movie calms down a bit as we're introduced to characters that were really minor characters, but we get to know their backstories and just a little more context on why they're important in the Halloween series. Laurie Strode is placed on the side for this movie, which is fine, but I just don't really feel any connections with any of the other characters other than Laurie Strode and Michael Myers. Everyone else is just kind of a bore, and low-key, I kind of just hope they die, and they basically do. Michael's path of rampage holds no mercy. They show how much of a monster he truly is in this movie by just him going into innocent people's houses that really don't relate to this movie at all and just brutally murdering them, which is cool, but yet kind of unnecessary to add a body count, but hey, we needed some screen time with the boy on there. But my god, these people are damn stupid. I don't really get with the older couple scene, why didn't the older lady run out of the house whenever the older guy died? She just kind of sat there and just screamed. I don't really get that. Why did the couple of Johns lock the house whenever they saw somebody walked in, and they live in the Myers house on Halloween night, and they locked themselves in the house? That was just the stupidest decision I've ever seen. They 100% wanted to die. They were purely there to add to a body count, but I feel like they could have been used a little bit more and be more important to the story. All of the hospital scenes are really lackluster. They're there for exposition, but nothing really happens there. Almost all of the action is outside of the hospital. But this is the thing though, when there is action with the random mental patient running around, it tries to push social commentary that doesn't really work, because they literally tell you right after that happens what the movie is trying to tell you. The character literally says word for word what the viewer could have easily understood. It's not hard to understand what they're trying to say, but they still tell you straight up that the social commentary is, when there's a mob mentality, the monster is yourself. All those other scenes they're okay. I mean, they're little gripes, but this right here, this part is why I really wanted to make this video. This is the part of the movie that really changed my thoughts and really made this movie not as good as it could have been, and it's the ending. Now, there are some movies where the endings make or break a movie, and in this situation, it really does break it for me. So let me explain the ending. Two of the teenagers were fighting Michael in his house. One of them dies, and the main teenager is about to be killed when her mom comes in and saves the day. She takes Michael out of the the house by luring him with his mask, and gets the whole gang outside to beat the shit out of him. Michael gets down, and a final stab goes right into him. Michael seems to be dead, but we all know that doesn't happen. He has like 7 other movies before, and he just never dies. If it ended there, it would have been fine, but no. What happens is that during a monologue after, and all of a sudden is able to beat the shit and murder every single one of the people that ganged up on him before. They literally spend barely any time. All these characters that were in the movie get killed off like just in a slow little montage that we get no time to see what the kills are. And for the cherry on top, the last surprise is that when the mother is looking out of the window of the Myers house, Michael stands right behind her and kills her. What was the point of doing that? Why didn't the movie just end right before that? Now the movie has more explanation to do, and it's purely sequel bait. With the first one, I was satisfied with the ending. It's kind of like, haha, but he's still alive. But the second one, it's like, oh yeah, we saved the day. Oh, he kills a very important character. You're gonna have to figure out what happens next. I understand that basically everybody knows a third movie, Halloween Ends, is coming out, but you should never leave a cliffhanger of a movie killing off a main character and just not explaining anything after that. It was like the movie was a rising action the whole time, but just never hits a climax and a conclusion. I'm just not a fan of that at all. So what's my overall thoughts of the movie? I think it's a great start, a very mid-middle section, and a pretty bad ending. I mean, what are your thoughts? Hey, maybe people did like the ending and I'm just the one of the few who don't. Now, if you would excuse me, I'm gonna be watching some true horror. None of this kids programming. Now that's scary.